Hey everyone, welcome back to Find Your Inner Sparkle with Adele. Touchy subject to, cover today. I'm talking about what to do when you don't feel like doing anything. So this is where you've kind of really lost your mojo, you've really lost your motivation. And this can be for a number of reasons, which I'll touch on, but you are struggling. So, it comes with a little bit of, I want to give you that message before we dive into 5 top tips, which I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you those. Don't worry about that, to help you get off the ground and to just start doing something. But first of all, I want to say I'm sorry that you're feeling like this. I get it. Life is hard and we sometimes go through these ups and downs. And when we're in these valleys and these down periods, I remember feeling like I don't remember how it feels to be happy. Like I've forgotten how that feels. And if you've forgotten how it feels and you're in this dark place, you can just get hoodwinked into thinking, your mind can trick you almost into thinking you'll never be happy again. And it's just not true. Like, try and think back to a memory or a time when you were laughing and joyful and full of love and gratitude, whatever that might be, a romance, the birth of a child, celebrating getting a new job, whatever that might be. Just try and think back, because I promise you, you will not stay like this forever. Things pass. This too shall pass. So I just wanted to say that up front, and to also to give you this message of be kind to yourself. Like, we've got enough going on without beating ourselves up with judgment and guilt and shame and all of that. Why we're not okay, why we're not able to do the things that we see other people doing. So just take a breath. Put your hand on your heart, maybe 2 hands. Relax your shoulders. Just take a breath and let it go. You're in the right place. Well done for pressing play on this video. You're taking action. You want to do this. And so you will. Okay. Blink your eyes open when you're ready. So welcome to this video. I'm going to give you 5 tips, maybe a little extra bonus tip here and there, who knows, to help you to start to make those tiny, tiny steps and progress towards getting back your mojo, towards getting back the person that you were and that you are meant to be. And sometimes we're in such a place that it really takes kid gloves and baby steps. We can't go in all guns blazing and, pick ourselves up off the floor and suddenly go and achieve great things. So it takes this time. So just be patient with yourself. If you're new to the channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. It's free. It's just a click of a button. To you, it's nothing. To me, it really helps to support the work that I'm doing, and it helps to get this video to other people. So the more people that like and subscribe to this channel, all about anxiety, depression, getting your confidence back, the more people that you are helping. And it really does make you feel better when you help others, right? So that's one thing that you can do to pay it forward. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you can, leave a little comment. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is from the video. So there's a phrase that was coined by Molly Backes, Backes, apparently, on Twitter in 2018, which is the impossible task. And I quite liked that when I was doing a little bit of research for this video. So the impossible task is maybe something that to other people or to a previous past version of you even would have felt really simple, like a simple task, like writing an email, writing an essay for uni, college, whatever it might be, returning a phone call, picking up the phone and phoning your friend back who's left a voice note, tidying your room, tidying the whole house. At one time, that would have just been absolutely nothing. It would have been a breeze to you, but now it feels impossible. And it feels overwhelming. It feels daunting. And like you just don't know where to start. You don't have the energy. You don't have the motivation. And this can be caused by lots of things. So one thing you might be thinking is like, why am I feeling like this? What am I going to do about it as well? But why it can be just a phase of life that you're going through where you may have slipped into a little bit of a depression, anxiety, maybe kind of peaking, and it's just exhausting you because mentally you're spending so much time just trying to analyze and figure everything out and make everything okay so that you feel safe, that you don't have the energy for simple tasks anymore. It could be as a result of trauma and things like traumatic events, physically or emotionally. It could be PTSD. It could be the side effects of some medication. So we have medication for our anxiety and depression, but sometimes they can kind of numb things down a little bit. And then that might mean that you then just can't be bothered and you don't have that mojo back to get things done. So just be mindful. It could be any one of those reasons, but you are not broken. You are not permanently going to be like this. Like I said at the beginning of the video, things do pass. You have got this. Start with baby steps. Be kind to yourself. Be patient. Let go of all that pressure and just spend the time nurturing yourself and healing yourself as you need to be. So it's not a character flaw. It's not you are this person and you've got this label that you have to live with. It's just that the desire to do things just feels too hard at the minute. It does not mean that you're a lazy person. You know, our society is kind of do, go, go, go. So we can often feel this guilt around the fact that we don't feel like it. So what are we going to do about it? The first thing that I'm going to tell you to do is to break it down. So if you're trying to write an essay for college, for uni, for a qualification that you're doing, anything like that, or book you want to write, or anything where it's to do with writing, just think to yourself, today I'm just going to think of the headline for this chapter or the headline for the project, or I'm just going to write for 5 minutes. Set a timer, 5 minutes, write whatever comes out, whatever doesn't, and then leave it. If it's to do with kind of you want to just do something, think about maybe tidying one room. How can you break that down? Well, let's start in the bedroom. So as soon as you've got up, just make your bed. There's a saying, I remembered this from somebody that came in to talk to us in my corporate days. And it was that I think there's a book called Make Your Bed. Make Your Bed, I'm just checking my notes, it's a book by William McRaven, and he was a Navy SEAL. And he saw some things, he dealt with a lot of adversity and challenges and saw people going through all sorts of different states of trauma, PTSD, you can imagine, depression. And he recommends, and this whole book about it, I might get it. I haven't actually got this book, but I might get it. I am a little bit obsessed with books, not going to lie. And make your bed because that's the first thing that you can do. So as soon as you get up, you can get that done. You can get that ticked off. And when we do something, when we do like one small thing, we get a release of a chemical called dopamine, and it gives us a little high. So if you are struggling with depression, anxiety, you're on medication, any of these things, PTSD, to get that little win, to get that little hit of dopamine is really important. So if you just make it a non-negotiable that when you get up, you're going to make your bed. When I get up, I make my bed straight away. Literally, I let it fold back so that it airs. So it's a matter of just flopping the duvet over. It's not, not that energy. It doesn't take a lot of energy. plump up the pillows a little bit, maybe put your little cushions on if you've got little cushions. And I jump straight in the shower. So before I can just start to, plod downstairs in my PJs and then be feeling like sluggish and not feeling like doing anything and all cozy in your PJs, that's just something that I've done for years. So it's done then, because once you jump in the shower, it wakes you up, you feel more refreshed. Then you have to get dressed because you're naked, right? When you come out of the shower. So jump in it, make the bed, jump in the shower. If you can do those two things, you've got already so many little wins. You've got that bed made, you've had your shower, you've probably cleaned your teeth, you've got dressed within about half an hour, not even that. So this guy, William McRaven, talks about the little wins and making your bed. He says, he spent 37 years as a Navy SEAL, became a 4-star admiral before his final assignment as commander of all US Special Operations Forces. In his many years in the military, McRaven witnessed and experienced many trials, some of them very difficult to tackle, and he has shared wisdom from his experiences in Make Your Bed, starting with the simple advice to make your bed. So if it's good enough for that guy, it's good enough for us, right? So think about any task that you want to do and just break it down to a really, really small task. Step number 2 is to link it with something that you enjoy. So if making your bed feels ugh, or writing a line in an essay feels too hard, or returning that phone call, link it with something you enjoy. So you could put on some really good music as you make the bed, and maybe venture into a bit more tidying of the room. So once you start one thing, you can feel that snowball effect sometimes happening. You might move something and maybe tidy a little bit more. Once you've got that music on, it's a 3-minute song, right? You've made your bed in 30 seconds. What else are you going to do with the 2.5 minutes? If you're returning a phone call and you're like, oh God, I really don't want to ring my mom, or I really don't want to ring my sister or this friend, she's going to be asking me how I'm doing and I don't feel like talking. Maybe you grab your cat or your dog and you snuggle up with them, so that's something really, really nice. Maybe you get your favorite mug and put a really nice drink in it, a hot drink of tea or coffee, whatever your drink of choices. So you link it with something that is nice. So you kind of trick your brain into, we're going to do this task we don't want to do, but we're going to link it with something nice at the same time. Tip number 3 is, I mentioned this at the start, please, please, please let go of guilt, let go of shame, let go of all of that icky feeling around how you're doing right now. You cannot help how you're feeling at the moment. It is what it is. We try and fight with reality, we lose every single time. What we can do is wrap our arms around ourselves, make it as nice as we can make our environment. We can treat ourselves with compassion and self-love, like heaps and heaps of self-love. I like to tell myself it's okay. Just love that, because my mind can really go off on one. The monkey mind, the inner chatter, we're going to get onto that in a moment. And so to say, shh, like you would do a child, shh, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Even if you don't believe that fully right now, just tell yourself it's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. So let go of any guilt or shame around the fact that you're not firing on all cylinders at the moment. You're not doing all the things that you used to do. It's just a little period of time. You wouldn't feel the guilt and the shame around not being able to run around the house and clean it top to bottom if you'd broken your leg. So if you've broken your leg and you're sat on your sofa with your foot in plaster, people are popping round, they're bringing stuff and making you a cup of tea and making sure everything's okay, because we can visibly see that you are incapacitated. But somehow, just because it's inside and it's internal and we've got a lot going on mentally at the moment and people can't see it, we don't get that same level of empathy. And I think it's two-way, because we don't want to tell people about it so much. So we feel embarrassed, we feel the guilt, we feel the shame, we feel like we've got to hide it. So we're going to come on to that next in step number 4, which is get support. it thankfully is becoming more and more acceptable to talk about this kind of stuff now. So reach out, speak to someone. It could be a therapist, a coach. I offer coaching, I offer yoga coaching. I can work with you one to one. Reach out to me if you need that support. I've got a course all about fear and anxiety that you can go through, and I do one to one coaching as well. You could speak to your doctor, your GP. They are there to listen, not just for, a cold or a cough or a broken leg or a sprained ankle. They're there if you're struggling. Get in touch with them. Go and speak to them. That's what they're there for. Also, think about another avenue like a friend or a family member, or maybe getting in touch with amazing charities like the Samaritans. That's what they're there for. They are being paid to sit there and to listen and to offer words of comfort and support. So get some support. Maybe you even get someone round. If you've got a really good friend, say, do you know what? Can you come round? I just need to tackle this task, and I would love some moral support. So could you come round while I make this phone call, or could you come round and help me with the tidying? We're going to put on some amazing music, and it'll be fun. I'll make you a brew. You'd be surprised how much people want to help. Step number 5 is please reward your little wins. So those little wins that you get when you've made your bed and you've got that little dopamine hit, and once you've had your shower, those are like 2 amazing things. We can overlook those small things and just think, oh, well, that's nothing. No, it's not. If you're feeling like really, really down, in the depths of darkness and despair, and you're struggling, the fact that you got up, made your bed, had a shower and got dressed, it's amazing. And you should be so proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. So get that done, and then think, what can I do to reward myself? What can I do? What would I love? Maybe it's that Netflix box set that you want to go, do you know what? Now I'm going to sit down and watch an hour of my favorite show without the guilt, because maybe before you were like, oh gosh, I'm not even dressed. I'm so lazy. And you were having all these thoughts. Now you can sit there and go, well, I've done this, this, and this. I'm rewarding myself. Then you're going to turn it off and do one more little thing. So maybe every couple of hours, you do a little thing, you make a little breakfast, you make a little lunch, and you take the dog around the block for a walk. Before you know it, you've got all these rewards building up, these celebrations. Mentally reward yourself. Give yourself something. Go and get your nails done. Whatever it might be that you feel that you would enjoy, order yourself something, a book that you want, make your bed. Whatever it might be, give yourself that reward. Okay, and I said I was going to give you a little bonus. So what I want to finish on is just about that little voice. So you've got this little voice in your head. Most people have it. And it can be really, really debilitating, because it can be, really harsh. I heard Ramesh Ranganathan being interviewed on a podcast. Stephen Bartlett, I couldn't think of the name. Stephen Bartlett's podcast, if you want to look it up. And he said he struggled with, anxiety and depression. And he said, basically, I've got this guy that lives in my head that's a little prick. That's what he said. And I was laughing because I thought, I do too. This voice in your head can sometimes be a really nasty person that kind of speaks to you in such a way that you would never speak to anyone else. You wouldn't say you're lazy, you're no good, you're never going to achieve anything. You wouldn't say all those things to anyone else, but you put up with it, you tolerate it from your own thoughts. So I want you to think about your little voice as a little character. So it's make it small, make it like this big so it loses some of its power. Give it a color, like on the movie Inside Out. Is it the angry one with the roof blowing off its head? Is it the depressed one, the little blue one, the sad one? Is it kind of timid? Is it anxious? Give it a color, yellow, red, green, whatever you want to, and give it a name. So, call it a little name like Petrified Paula, or depressed Daniela, or whatever you want to call it. but make it a bit light-hearted so that you can start to build this relationship with this little character, and you can be like, oh, she's off again, here we go again. And you can build a separateness, a separation. That's what I want you to do. So instead of being consumed and this is me and this is who I am and it's all heavy and, thick, you can step back from it. You can build a little separation and you can give it a little bit of humor. So you can start to create some space between you and your thoughts so that you can know that you are not your thoughts. They are just a part of you, just like your little finger is just a part of you. It's not the entirety of who you are. You are a divine being. You are part of consciousness. You are part of this ocean of oneness, and you are made of stardust. Like, we are literally made of stardust. So I want you to try and play with this. I think that's enough for today. Please let me know in the comments if this has been any help, and if it has helped you and you hear or know of anyone that's struggling with this kind of depression, PTSD, this feeling of struggling just to get up and get moving and achieve those small wins, share this video with them. I would love you to do that. Drop them a line and say, I'm thinking of you. I thought this would help. And what a lovely gift to give to someone. And get in touch if you need any more help and support. You can find me as well on Facebook. There's a link in the description to this video for my Facebook community group called Find Your Inner Sparkle. So go ahead and check that out. Take good care, and I will see you on the next video. Sending lots of love. Bye for now.